so we went through my 10 worst, or my 10 best free agent signings, I should say. Let's get into my 10 worst free agent signings so far from this offseason. And at number 10, no, this is not a mistake. I understand I had him on my last list, but I'm doing it again because I can. At number 10, my worst free agent signing, DeMarcus Cousins on the Warriors. Now, you may be wondering, what the hell are you talking about, Harris? How is that even possible? Well, DeMarcus Cousins, out of all the teams that he could have possibly signed with, took the biggest possible risk that he could have by signing with the Golden State Warriors. This is the guy, mind you, who has never been in the playoffs before, is a notorious locker room problem, has had so many issues with so many different teammates, opponents, and anyone in the NBA. And now, in order to change around his reputation, he's going to go to the Warriors, coming off of back-to-back NBA Finals wins. Cousins, you do realize that if you lose, you will go down in NBA history as the greatest fall guy of all time. You will get all of the blame if the Warriors lose. 100% of the blame. Draymond won't be the fall guy. It won't be Durant. It won't be Klay. It obviously won't be Steph. It will be you, DeMarcus Cousins. It will be your fault that the Warriors don't win the title. It doesn't even matter if it is or it isn't your fault. It will be your fault regardless if the Warriors don't win the finals this year. And remember, people, I think the Warriors are going to win the finals. It is really, really difficult to win 3 straight NBA finals. So if the Warriors lose, it's going to be DeMarcus Cousins' fault anyway. So it's a huge risk for him, and I really do wonder how much of a reputation saver it's going to be if they don't win the finals this year. It's a huge risk, and that's why he's on my list of the top 10 worst free agency signings, just because, man, you could have gone to the Celtics, and even if the Celtics don't win the finals, I think it would have been a better idea for him to go to. Hell, even the Rockets would have been a good idea. But another good idea is to follow me on Twitter at SportsTeam. We're trying to get me to 1,500 Twitter followers. We're doing well right now. We've gotten some followers throughout this show. We're currently sitting at 1,472. So let's get me up to 1,500. We have over 400 people watching this show right now on Facebook and YouTube. I only need 28 people to follow me. That sounds like something that is easily achievable. Go follow me on Twitter at SportsTeam. I'll have all the best NBA coverage that you could ever ask for live on, I guess, Facebook and YouTube, and also here on Twitter. All right, let's move on to my number 9 overall player for the worst free agency signings. Look, people, I understand I'm probably going to get some slack for this one too. It is Tony Parker. And Tony Parker overall has some stuff that we really need to talk about. It is incredibly weird that Tony Parker is on this team in general. I don't understand why Tony Parker took this deal with the Hornets. I don't understand how he ended up on the Hornets. I don't know how the Spurs let him end up on the Charlotte Hornets. But this is super weird. I don't like it. I don't want it. Please make this stop. This is hurting my feelings. Tony Parker on the Charlotte Hornets is going to go down in history as one of the weirdest free agency signings in NBA history, along with, the likes of Patrick Ewing going to the Orlando Magic and Hakeem Olajuwon going to the Toronto Raptors. Like, this weird signings have happened in the NBA all the time, and Tony Parker is another version of that one. It is so unbelievably strange to hear that Tony Parker is going to end up on the Charlotte Hornets. I don't get it. I don't understand it. What the hell are the Charlotte Hornets even doing? Why are the Hornets signing Tony Parker? Like, what is the destination for this Hornets team? Are they trying to win? Are they trying to lose? Are they trying to trade away assets? Who is Tony Parker even coming in to mentor? Kemba Walker? Kemba Walker is almost 30 years old. I don't understand. Of all teams that Tony Parker could have gone to, why go to the Hornets? Why not go to a team like the Denver Nuggets, where he could legitimately make a run in the NBA playoffs? Instead, he's going to a team that's going to end up in the bottom half of the Eastern Conference. I don't get it at all. I do not understand this signing. It's a number 9 for me. It hurts my feelings. Please put Tony Parker back on the Spurs. Please. This is super weird. I don't even want to talk about this anymore. Let's go to number 8. This is making me upset. Going to number 8 on my list of the worst free agency signings. Another one I might get a little bit of slack for, but hey, I like to make hot takes here. At number 8, I have Chris Paul. Now, this isn't a bad thing from a Chris Paul scenario, because Chris Paul just got $160 million at 33 years old. But if you're the Houston Rockets, this deal is bad for you, because when Chris Paul is 36 and 37 years old, you're paying that dude $40+ million a year. And let's be honest with ourselves, people. Are the Rockets going to beat the Warriors this year with all the pieces that they've lost? No. The Rockets are not going to be able to beat the Warriors this year. I understand they brought back Chris Paul, but with no Trevor Ariza, no Luke Mbah-a-Moute, no other great wing defenders, they're going to have a huge, huge issue taking down the Warriors this year. And now that they've kind of hamstrung themselves with their salary cap by giving Chris Paul that massive, massive contract. And I get it. Their hands were tied. If they don't bring back Chris Paul, they're not a title contender next season. But a 4-year, $160 million deal, I understand that they had to do it, but that doesn't make it good. That doesn't make it good. That one does not equal to the other. It's still an issue. That contract is going to be a problem in the next couple of years. And again, at 37 years old, they're going to be paying Chris Paul $41 million a year. That's just not acceptable in today's NBA. They're going to be in big, big trouble. All right, let's get to number 7 on my list. This one I think people can kind of get on board with. We got Derrick Favors here at number 7, agreed to a 2-year, $36 million deal with the Jazz, but no one else made any other offers for him. So why did the Jazz give him $18 million a year for a guy who, frankly, has been a pretty big disappointment with the Jazz? I mean, they thought he was going to turn into one of the best power forwards in the NBA, and he just hasn't at all. He's an okay player. He's a nice rotation guy, but $18 million a year for Derrick Favors? That's just a lot. That's a lot of money to give to a guy who you could probably easily replace. I mean, who would you rather give $18 million to? Derrick Favors or Jabari Parker? Personally, I'd rather give it to Jabari Parker than Derrick Favors, but that's a personal thing. I think that Derrick Favors is a good pickup or a good re-signing for the Jazz just because it keeps their group together, but I don't understand giving him $18 million a year. I think if Jusuf Nurkic is out here getting 4 years at 48, you can give Derrick Favors less than that much money. So he's at number 7 on my list. Let's get to number 6 here, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Ladies and gentlemen, over the past 2 years, your Los Angeles Lakers have paid Kentavious Caldwell-Pope close to $30 million. One of the most average players in the NBA by a significant margin has gotten paid $30 million because he is represented by Clutch Sports, which is LeBron James' sports agency. There is no reason why anyone should have given Kentavious Caldwell-Pope $12 million this offseason. I don't care what agency he works under. I don't care. The dude is not worth $12 million a year. This is a terrible, terrible contract. $12 mil for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope? Why? Mario Hezonja, who put up similar numbers in the second half of the year with Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, got paid half of this. And he's younger and arguably better with higher upside. $12 million for KCP is a crime against the NBA. This is a 2016 NBA salary cap spike kind of contract that the Lakers are giving out here to KCP. I get it. It's just 1 year. It's not a huge deal. But you just brought in LeBron James, and the biggest free agency signing you make in terms of money was Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. I don't like it at all. Let's move on here to number 5. I have Avery Bradley. Not because I don't like Avery Bradley as a player, not because I don't like Avery Bradley overall in the NBA, but because what the actual hell are the Clippers doing? What's their goal? Like, what is the Clippers' goal for next season? Are they trying to win a finals? Are they trying to make it to the playoffs? Because as of right now, I don't know if either is going to happen because their roster is so poorly constructed. So poorly constructed. They have so many guards. Patrick Beverley, Avery Bradley, Milos Teodosic, Jerome Robinson, Lou Williams, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Who the hell is going to play? Along with that, you have no one down low along with Marcin Gortat. You don't have a power forward on this team, and your 2 best scorers are Tobias Harris and Danilo Gallinari. Excuse me while I vomit under this table over your starting lineup, Clippers. This is terrible. I do not understand what the Clippers are doing. I've been screaming at them all offseason. Figure it out. Figure your stuff out, Clippers, because it's going to be too late. And by the time that you're even close to competing, everyone else around you is already going to be better. I don't understand what the Clippers are doing. It has made no sense all offseason. All right, let's go to number 4 on my list here. Michael Carter-Williams going to the Rockets is maybe the worst fit player, team, whatever you want to say, of any free agency signing. The dude last year shot 2 threes. I'm talking 2 threes, 2 attempted threes all season long. One of those threes that he attempted was a half-court heave. That was it. So he attempted one real three-pointer all season long, and now he's going to the team that shot the most three-pointers in NBA history last year and also isn't that great of an overall defender. So what exactly is Michael Carter-Williams bringing to this team? I don't understand. What is Michael Carter-Williams bringing to any NBA team for that matter, let alone the team that was one game away from the NBA Finals last year? We have a weigh-in up here. Did the Rockets window close this offseason? I say yes. I think they're done. I don't see a way that the Rockets can win a title within the next 2 years. I just don't see it happening. How are they going to beat the Warriors? Who the hell is defending Kevin Durant? Is Michael Carter-Williams going to be defending Kevin Durant? I just don't understand what the Rockets are doing. This whole offseason has been such a crap show for them and their front office. I'm sorry, Daryl Morey. I love you, but you've not done a great job so far this offseason. All right, let's go to number 3 on my list. You guys know how much I detest Dwight Howard. Oh, goodness. The Wizards had the worst locker room in all of basketball last year. Certifiably. It's not even close. You had John Wall and Marcin Gortat in the middle of a public feud. Bradley Beal and John Wall weren't getting along. You had all these other issues with the coach and Scott Brooks and Markieff Morris. You had all these issues. And the guy that you add is the worst locker room player in the NBA by a significant margin in Dwight Howard, and you gave him a 2-year contract? That's a joke. This has to be a joke. So many times the Washington Wizards have tried to push their franchise forward, and by doing so, they have only pushed themselves farther back. As of right now, this is the big list of moves that the Wizards have made over the past couple of years. They matched a max offer sheet for Otto Porter. They traded a first-round pick for Markieff Morris, and they have since signed Dwight Howard to a 2-year contract. This is the worst front office in sports, ladies and gentlemen, and I will stick by that till the day I die. The Wizards are such a poorly run team, I cannot believe that Dwight Howard is on this roster. No sense to me at all. All right, let's go to number 2. I mentioned him before. I said at the start of the offseason that his contract was going to be one of the worst ones in the NBA, regardless of who gave it to him. 4 years, $84 million max deal for Aaron Gordon is way too much money. That is way too much money to give to Aaron Gordon. Now, I will say this. The way that the Magic structured out this contract is very interesting. It is a front-loaded max contract, which you do not see very often in the NBA. So good job by the Magic. This is a very good contract. He gets $21 million this year, $20 million next year, $18 the year after, and $16 the year after, with a lot of incentives along with it. This is a good contract for the Magic. I just don't understand giving Aaron Gordon $84 million. I don't see the point. I don't see the importance of it. He's a good player, but you have Obama, Jonathan Isaac, giving Aaron Gordon almost $100 million. And I think it's going to come back to bite the Magic. But speaking of contracts that are going to come back to bite their team, my number 1 worst free agency signing, it is Zach LaVine. And $78 million max deal for Zach LaVine is way too much money. Way too much money. Now, there are a lot of injury protections in this contract that the Kings had him sign with his offer sheet. Good for them. That is a good idea. However, $20 million a year for Zach LaVine, who, as of right now, has shown no ability to stay healthy, no ability to be a consistent NBA basketball player, and has not shown a certifiable skill at all, like a number 1 elite skill, is concerning for me. I just don't understand what the point of that contract was. $80 million for Zach LaVine at this point in his career, I would have just let him go to the Kings. I think that is way, way too expensive. We got a mailbag alert for everyone. We have a mailbag coming up on Tuesday. Tweet me your questions at Sportstein. I'll collect them and we'll talk about them on Tuesday. All of your questions will be answered if you tweet them at me for this mailbag. Again, you can hit me up on Twitter at Sportstein. Send me those questions, hit me up with a follow, and we will have them all ready for you on Tuesday. But that's going to do it for me today. We had a great time today on NBA Weekly, and we'll be back here again on Tuesday morning. But for now, we'll see ya.